Hey y'all, today we're making crockpot ribs. Okay, so I'm going to use these boneless pork ribs or country ribs, and I'm going to use 2 packs of those. So what you're going to do, I always rinse my meat, y'all already know. So if you do too, just make sure you pat it dry so that your seasoning is going to stick to your ribs. Now I make my own rib rub, and I will show y'all here and tell you what's in it, and I'll make sure that I type it out in the description box for y'all to make that easier as well. So what I'm adding in here is 3/4 of a cup of packed brown sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of Tony's Creole seasoning. You can use whatever kind of Creole seasoning you like. Then I added in 3 teaspoons of plain black pepper and 2 teaspoons of salt. And this is really good, y'all. I'm telling you, if you're looking for a good rib rub, try mine out. It's very, very good. Then I added in 5 teaspoons of paprika, half a teaspoon of cumin, and half a teaspoon of chili powder. And then all you're going to do is just mix this up real good, and it's going to make more than what you need for one recipe. So you're going to have some left over for next time. You know, win-win. Just mix it up real good, store it in an airtight container, and you're good to go. So once you get your rub ready, and y'all, if you don't do a rub, if you don't like rub, if you just want barbecue sauce, I'm sure you could just do barbecue sauce, but I highly recommend adding the rib rub because it really gives it some good flavor. And I'm showing y'all this. Now, I did baby back ribs in the oven a while back. I'll link that video for y'all if you want to check that one out. But I'm trying to find some alternatives. I'm not the best on the grill. My son-in-law does all the grilling. You know, he comes over and does all my grilling for me. But, you know, sometimes you just want it and you don't want to have to bug somebody else to cook it, right? And you don't want to spend the money to go buy it. So now you're going to have a crock pot recipe and an oven recipe, and you can have barbecue anytime you want to. Because I'm telling y'all, these are delicious. All right, just make sure that you get that seasoning on every nook and cranny of those ribs, okay? Make sure you season them up real good. Now, since I'm using a rub and barbecue sauce, I'm going to spray my crock pot so that that sticky barbecue sauce doesn't stick too much and make too big of a mess for me to have to clean up later, okay? So now what we're going to do is just layer our ribs in the crock pot. And like I said, use as many as you want. You can definitely put as many as you want to in here. It'll be fine. They're going to cook. But because we're adding barbecue sauce to these, if you double the, like put them on top of each other, if you pile them on top of each other, which I'm going to have to do in a minute, then just make sure that when you're putting your barbecue sauce on, that you kind of scoot your ribs around a little bit to make sure that all of your ribs get a little bit of barbecue sauce. Okay. So I'm trying to do better, y'all. I'm using the Sweet Baby Ray's no sugar added. Just, you know, like I said, trying to make cuts and good decisions where I can. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for a good barbecue sauce, I love Sweet Baby Ray's anyway, but I'm kind of leery sometimes of things that are sugar-free. But this barbecue sauce, in my opinion, does not taste any different than the regular. So if you're looking for a good barbecue sauce, but you need a little less sugar in your life, try this one. It's really good. And for me, if I have to be careful with sugar-free things. Anything that has aspartame, you know, I can't do any diet drinks or anything like that. So if you're somebody who is bothered by aspartame, this does not have aspartame in it. Okay, that's another plus for me anyway with this barbecue sauce. It doesn't have any aspartame in it. I can't remember off the top of my head which one of the, you know, substitutes it is, but this one does not bother me. So do with that information what you will. So once you get your ribs all good and slathered up with your barbecue sauce, you're just going to turn your crock pot on. You can cook them on high for 4 to 5 hours or cook them on low for 7 to 8 hours. Just watch them. When they're ready, they're going to be just falling apart. Okay, they're going to fall apart. They're going to be so tender, and they're not going to dry out. So anybody thinking and worried about that, do not. These don't dry out, okay? So once your ribs are done, however long you cooked them, this is what they're going to look like. You see, of course, they make their own juice. Some of that's the barbecue sauce that, you know, drip down in there. And I always, once I take them out, I put a little bit more barbecue sauce on the top just for some little extra something something. And then you can dip them in barbecue sauce, or however you eat your ribs will work just fine. But I'm telling y'all, if you're looking for a good indoor rib recipe, you need to give these a try because they are delicious. Okay, that is all I've got for y'all today, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.